Alright, in our last tutorial we're just going to work a little bit on some UI. So what we have here is we have our collectibles and we have our ball, and the player holds the score and the score goes up, but we need somewhere to display it. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. If you click on the game object and then choose the UI and then choose text, what that gives you is a brand new canvas, and you can see it's actually, it looks like it's in 3D, but it's actually in 2D, and the easiest way to sort it out is to click on the 2D button, and then if you double click canvas you'll see that you can see the whole canvas, and it matches the shape of our window, as you can see. So the text is down in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag it up to the top left corner, and then we're going to muck around with some of these some of the components of this. So you can see that we have the text box here, and it's been selected, so we've got all of its components over here now. This is, I could go into explain, and you can look at the Unity tutorials, but the easiest thing is just if you click on middle, to set the anchor point for this particular object, because it's in the top left of the window, it's a good idea to set the anchor point to the top left. When that's done, it will be linked to that top left hand side, and it's also a good idea when we go down to set the font size. Here we go, make it much bigger, nice big font. It's probably a bit big actually, I'll make it 36, so it's not too big, and resize. Okay, you can set the alignment and various other bits and pieces over here as well. There's one thing I want to show you within the canvas that will help things too. If you click on the canvas again, you've got all the different modes. One UI scale mode is really important to set. Often you'll have different screen sizes, so it's a good idea to scale this with screen size. So what will happen is, as the screen resolution or size changes, this will also change too, so it makes it look a little bit more professional. So I've got my window all set up. Now all I need to do is to set this text value. At the moment it doesn't do anything, so if I set the text value in script or in code, then I'll be able to make sure that this is exactly what I need it to do. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to show you how to do it. So within the player, if we open up the player script, what you'll see in the player script is that we already hold the score here, and I'm going to make another public variable, and this time I'm going to call it a text. Now if you start typing this in, you'll see a little bit of a problem because it doesn't come up and help you, and the reason for that is because the UI has been put away within Unity Engine. So we're going to add in the library that controls UI. So if we use Unity Engine .ui and then semicolon. So this adds in this library, giving us access to all of its bits and pieces and functions and variables. So right now I'm going to make that public text. So public text, you'll see text now comes up, and I'm going to call this my score text so that I have access to it within my script. So again, this is inside the scope of the class, so I can access it in any one of these functions. And what I'm going to do is, because we've run this collected, and because, well, actually we could do it inside update. Let's do it inside update. So if we do it inside update, it happens every single frame. It's maybe not the most efficient, but we'll do with it just now. So inside here, all I need to do is access score text, and the text of that, and I'm going to assign that the value, and this is how you concatenate, it's called, when you add strings together so that one adds on to the next. So score plus, and then the variable score, which is in my code, and because we're actually displaying a string, what I'm going to do is, it's not strictly necessary, but it's good practice to convert this to a string with the toString function. So score.toString turns the integer variable score into whatever is that number is as a string, and that's basically it. If I save my code, I'll go to here, you'll see that my player now has the slot for where the score text is, and all I'll do is I'll drag the text into the slot so that my player script is able to access that component, or access that, and now as we go along you'll see that the score goes up. And that's it for adding in UI elements.